Topping the stories this morning, the SABC has reliably learned that Zimbabwe is likely to have a transitional government following yesterday's army takeover. Dismissed former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa is expected to lead the transitional government that will be constituted of stakeholders from other political parties. Last night, the South African delegation attended meetings with different parties to get first-hand information on what is being done to return Zimbabwe to normalcy. The president here in South Africa, Jacob Zuma, as chairperson of SADC, sent Defence and Military Veterans Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula and Minister of State Security Bongani Bongo as envoys to chart a way forward for that country. In the proposed deal, President Robert Mugabe has been given an opportunity to negotiate an exit that includes state protection for him and his family. The president remains confined to his home. Members of the G40 that have been fighting with Mnangagwa's supporters are likely to appear before court on charges of corruption and treason. One of the priorities of the transitional government will be to restore the economy that has experienced declines in recent times. For the latest in the situation in Harare now, we speak to our correspondent, Efford Musekiwa. Efford, thank you very much for being with us here on the program. Firstly, tell us what happened overnight.
Good morning, Ian. As of last night, as you have rightly said, President Zuma's envoys arrived at around 7 p.m. They went straight into meetings with the various stakeholders. We got confirmation from the South African ambassador to Zimbabwe that they were still in meeting up until early this morning. They haven't yet divulged to us what is the outcome of their meetings, but we can confirm that meetings went as late as 1 a.m. That's the last time that we spoke to the ambassador. So today we expect to get an indication as to what transpired during the meetings, if there were any made, if there were any agreements that had been agreed upon. We expect all that starting this morning.
Let's get a deeper understanding as to, from what you are understanding, what exactly has taken place in Zimbabwe?
What we understand is that as we woke up yesterday, the military was on the streets. They've taken over control of government offices. They've taken over control, and they've taken blocked access to the parliament. They blocked access to the presidential office. And they said it was not a military takeover. They said it was not a coup. And they've kept repeating the same statement that they have not taken over. They are just trying to clean up the mess that is in the ruling party, NPF. And they were not targeting President Robert Mugabe, but they were targeting criminals around him. And as of yesterday, we also understand that a couple of detentions or a couple of arrests were made. But then yesterday, we also saw the ZANU-PF Youth League appearing on state media, apologizing to the command of the defense forces. So that's what's prevailing on the ground at the present moment.
Yeah. In terms of the whereabouts of the First Lady Grace Mugabe, do we have any idea? From our understanding, we believe that Robert Mugabe, the president, is under guard, military guard at his home and is safe, as we've heard from reports coming through. His wife, Grace Mugabe, however, there are many rumors as to her whereabouts. Do you have any solid confirmation as yet?
No solid confirmation as of yet, Leanne, but a lot of reports indicate that she is still in Zimbabwe. She is still with the president, but the only confirmation that we have received is of that of the president. So we expect maybe even today, as we meet with President Zuma's envoy, they might actually divulge the whereabouts of both the First Lady. They might even divulge the whereabouts of Emmerson Mnangagwa, who is rumored to be going to lead this transitional government that you spoke about. So really, we don't know the whereabouts of both the First Lady and Emmerson Mnangagwa at the present moment.
All right. Efford, let's leave it there. We will definitely be getting more updates from you as the morning gets underway in Zimbabwe and here in South Africa as well. But the big involvement on South Africa's side is SADC chairperson, President Jacob Zuma, has called for calm and restraint in Zimbabwe. He says the situation is a deep concern for the SADC region and the continent.